Hey guys, welcome to the HKC 217 podcast. This episode sponsored by the Soul Playing Card Company. And this episode we're going to be talking about what we did at Finestrat Spain. We're going to be talking about the setup changes and everything we did there and everything we did with Luca, Thorley and Lewis. So yeah, we'll see you in a minute after this break. Hi, welcome back, and massive thanks again to the Soul Playing Card Company. They've been a massive sponsor to us and they've been a really big help on Patreon and through Patreon.
Yeah, massive thanks to John and the Soul Playing Card Company. They actually got in touch via YouTube, the YouTube comments, was really good. The Soul Playing Card Company were established in 2020 with the goal of releasing high quality, limited edition custom decks inspired by each country's warrior swords. Check them out at sword_PCC on Instagram and follow their journey from prototype decks to hopefully a successful Kickstarter campaign. Wow, I need to get better at doing these adverts. But yeah, massive thanks to John and the Soul Playing Card Company. It's been amazing. Another thing that you get from being in the Patreon, being a Patreon subscriber, any level, is that we've started a new thing, which is an exclusive chat, which we've put into WhatsApp. So there's a WhatsApp group where everybody who's a Patreon in there.
And you get like exclusive information like that you don't normally see on social media. So like when there's races are going live and stuff like that.
Yeah, I try and keep things updated, obviously on his full socials. But while we're racing, it's very difficult to post everything and do a good post while we're racing. Like basically saying is out next, live timing's up, this that other. It's a lot easier just to quickly whip out your phone, bling in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Also, with like Hudson puts in videos in there. Hudson's actually in that chat.
In the group.
He puts videos out there, and like the feedback that we've got from that has been absolutely mega.
Yeah.
Over this when we're racing and when we've been out in Spain, there was all exclusive footage in there when we're out in Spain as well, which we only posted in there, which were good, and it just a good way. There's also an app when you're a Patreon member. That's also a good way. There's a chat, you can leave messages. Hudson can see all them that pop up on your phone. It's like a dedicated, it's not an actual HKC app, it's a Patreon app. But if you signed up to Hudson's Patreon, it gives you notifications. Yeah. And again, I can post, it's like a notification to your phone when he's racing live, if a video's gone live, etc, etc. Yeah. So yeah, massive thanks to John. We'll put a little link to his Instagram there. Follow him on Instagram. Looking forward to potentially previewing some of his stuff that's coming up as well.
Yeah.
So as we roll in, this is episode 9 of the podcast.
Yeah.
This episode we're going to cover
the second half of his Spain trip.
Second half of the Spain trip, yeah, where we went out to after the Pacosta.
Yeah.
The Pacosta training camp, went across to Finestrat, which is just outside of Benidorm.
Mm-hmm.
I'd class it as Benidorm, but basically it's just outside Benidorm, where we were having 5 days on a different track. The bikes had to be packed up after we finished at the Pacosta training camp. So we did all that.
Packed it all up, put us at the front so it was easy to get out.
Yeah, had a couple of days off as the bikes got travelled up, and the main part of the mini bike trip was this part really, because we heard there were a lot of people doing it. I've seen a lot of people in the Facebook group. We got to the hotel Friday night after doing the 3 days in there, and yeah, we kind of like started to realise, wow, there's a lot of people
in this
hotel. So we stopped in the
Grand Barley.
In the Grand Barley Hotel in Finestrat, which is if you've been to Benidorm before, it's like the really tall hotel in Benidorm, like huge. In fact, I think it's the tallest in Europe.
Tallest hotel in Europe. Yeah.
So we were rocked up on to Hudson's mum's delight. We was on the 30. Fifth?
33rd floor.
33rd floor. I'll just show you a quick view of that if you're watching on YouTube.
The view was amazing.
The view was amazing.
We had a really good room that it had a balcony, and you had half of the skyline, and you could see all the tall buildings, and then you could see the little town. You could see the cross on the other hill at the end of the beach, and then you could see the blue sea, and it was so nice.
Yeah, it was so nice. So we went there. We got there Friday night. Transferred all the stuff across. Parked his hire car up. We still needed that for the rest of the week, just to nip to the track for convenience. And checked in his hotel, chilled out a little bit, had 2 days off. Met up, realised how many people were in the hotel. Watched the MotoGP on Sunday. That's when we realised how many was there. So we watched the Moto. I've never actually done this before. I don't think Hudson will have as well. Yeah. We watched MotoGP in a crowd. I can only explain watching football in a pub. Big projector. We took over the lounge area.
They were a lounge area with a projector that normally had graphics up on it for a song or something. But they put MotoGP up on it.
Yeah. Because
they were watching football the day before, and then we asked if they could switch it over, and they switched it over.
Yeah, it was fantastic. That was wicked. So watching MotoGP in a crowd. I think Moto3. I think we watched Moto2. People started to trickle in a lot more from Moto2 watching Sam. It was a season opener, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so everybody were really excited. So that was absolutely mega. I've got a bit of video from in there. It was packed. All kids were watching. We're all watching. Who won that race now?
Was it?
I don't know. On a Ducati.
On a Ducati. Oh, it was the one on a purple Ducati.
Yeah, the pinky purple one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
If you watch MotoGP, you know what I mean. He's got a pinky purple bike, and it's like a pinky purple Ducati. I think it was him
anyway. So that was fantastic. Obviously, early night, knew that we were up early in the morning, and we had to go and unpack the bikes. And unfortunately, on the Monday, it was wet.
Yeah, wet in the morning.
Oh, rewinding a little bit, actually. Sorry. On the Sunday, we couldn't resist to have a little nip up to the go-kart track.
So we went up to do a track walk.
So weather wasn't very good Sunday either. Anyway, we went up to the go-kart track. It wasn't raining, but it had been raining, I think, that morning. Anyway,
long story short, he roped everyone into go-karting.
So me, Steve, Adrian, Luca, Hudson, and Lewis all went on go-karts. Now, the first couple of sessions, I've never laughed as much in a go. In fact, it was probably as crazy. It was crazier than at Stretton that day.
Yeah, it were.
So it was drift kart racing. That's all I can call it. It was nuts. Now we'd heard that track was slippy, so slippy in fact that people said, "Don't take your wets."
They don't let you on track.
Yeah, they won't let you out on. Well, obviously we know why now.
Yeah.
So anyway, we had 3 sessions blasting round there. Hudson and Luke had to go in the smaller carts, to their disappointment, because they wouldn't let them on. Because
we tried to blag them.
We tried to blag them, saying, "Oh, the racers." Anyway, so we couldn't let them on. So that was a good blast. We had a laugh.
Yeah, we did.
Nuts. Just a roundabout session 3 that we had. It kind of started to dry up. We definitely. You might have spun out. I think a couple spun out, but it weren't as bad.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we did a rolling start.
And
Lewis won that one. I can't remember.
Yeah, we did a rolling start, and you put me and Luca to the front.
Yeah, it weren't really fair.
Me and Luca were side by side.
Yeah. So, anyway, we had a good blast. Went back to the hotel, watched MotoGP. That's what happened that day, and off we trotted. Waiting for, and we got excited. Obviously, you got excited that track was and I was like, "Wow, this track's got everything, really different types of corners,
off camber, cambered,
downhill corkscrew." Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah! So it was amazing little track. So Hudson were excited for getting back there Monday. Went up Monday. I think we unloaded everything, if I can remember.
Yeah.
2 lorries worth of bikes. That's when we totally realised how many bikes were there.
Yeah.
Mini motos, some
Metric kits,
some moto. I think they actually them bikes. They're called Moto Team bikes. That's what
What are like metricats?
No, them large ones.
Oh, what, the 125s?
Yeah, I think they're 125s.
They were 125. I can
Yeah,
remember.
that's the Fab Racing Moto Team bikes.
Oh, is that what we watched the other day on telly?
Yeah. Yeah, it's them, isn't it?
Yeah.
So anyway, so there was like bigger, they were like full-size bikes.
Yeah.
Moto Team from Fab Racing. Yeah. So there were probably 4 of them, maybe 5 metricats, probably 20 mini motos.
There were a bunch of little mini motors.
5 Ovalis.
Yeah.
6 Ovalis. Some KTMs. Anyway,
pit bikes.
Loads of bikes. Unloaded them all. With a view, obviously it had been raining, with a view to potentially getting back out in the afternoon. So everybody went back to the hotel. We went back at 4 o'clock with, as fingers crossed, it was looking okay, and we literally got 1 minute from the trike and the heavens opened again.
And it chucked it down.
Like, we was just about to get to the trike, so we're like, okay. So we just looked at trike through the car and went back home and said, right, we'll rock up tomorrow. But again, these things happen, you can't control the weather. Rocked up day 2, set up, bright and breezy. Track was damp in the morning. A few mini motors come off. A lot come off, didn't they?
A lot.
Slipping out.
Yeah, pretty much every mini
The
motor.
rookies, the pros. And then it were you guys.
And we skipped it because everyone came off in pretty much every session. Yeah,
we kind of like made the decision to
skip the first one.
Skip the first session.
People coming
they
off.
were like 15-minute sessions, so we skipped it. All Valis did. I don't think a lot of people went out. I think a few people skipped and they went back to mini motors again. But within an hour,
and they're not mini motors.
Yeah, within an hour, we watched the mini motors again, and we're like, okay.
It got a bit better. There were still people coming off.
Yeah, you and Luca were lucky because you had R's.
Yeah, we had R's, and everyone else just brought SS's.
So Hudson and Luca. I think Lewis and Thorley went out on that first one, just a bit hesitant. We just said be careful.
We went out. Just had a bit of a iron on the track, and then in the next session we pushed a bit harder because it was drier. Yeah,
but by the second time they're out there, it was. Perfect conditions. Sun had come out a little bit as well, if I can remember that first day.
Warm then.
Good first day. So they just spanned some laps up, had fun.
Yeah.
Bit of a more open track. Yeah.
Yeah. Decently wide, to be honest. Most tracks are like actually quite thin, but it were
wide. Wasn't it?
Yeah, very wide track. You had and as well you had like runoff areas. You know, like. Do you know
on the bike,
like on the exit, you had like runoff areas if you like went wide.
So it was a good positive first day. It felt like me watching Hudson, like you could tell. Obviously, this, let's say, new version of Hudson that we'd seen from Pacosta, the things have been carried over straight to this bit. You were kind of having a good blast round. Again, you was the only 110 rider using his 110 bike all the time, trying to tag onto Lewis, trying to tag onto Luca and Thorley, who were trapping around in the 140s and 160s. Didn't do you any harm though, did it?
No, it didn't.
So like spun laps, good first day, positive first day. In fact, even more excited for the next day. Next day again, I might be getting the days mixed up in weather-wise, but next day were nice.
Yeah, I think it were. I think it might have spitted like a tiny bit, but
I don't know which day was the nicest, but anyway, we weren't really affected by it rain.
Yeah, weren't really affected. No, I think
it was always a bit dampy in the morning.
Always a bit dampy in the morning. It might have been raining, like trickling in the night, but it mostly dried up by like the second session. It was bone dry, but in the first session, it was only like a bit. But it's always like that when you get to a track. It's just like that little bit of like condensation.
Humidity.
Yeah.
Is the word that you're looking for, I think. Anyway, so really good. Span laps, day 2. Span laps. Changed settings. Tweaked a lot of things. Messed with things.
Yeah, drop
forks. Lowered suspension. Messed with pressures. Changed handlebar angles.
We changed
grips, positions.
We took off the handle steering dampener.
Remote steering dampener, put steering dampener back on. Like, messed a lot, changed a lot of things, which is feedback that we wanted from Hudson, like listening to like different setups. So does that feel better? Does that feel worse? Which were positive, and actually having a good
mess about with the bike,
seeing
and what you can do and what them changes do.
Doing body positions only, not even looking at lap times. Concentrating on one corner, getting that right.
Yeah.
Chasing Luca following you tagging on, rolling through pits, waiting for. There was some tactics going on there, especially from Hudson. Hudson were like, obviously Lewis and Thorley and Luca as well. Obviously they're on 140s and 160s, so inevitably they'd creep away. But you could kind of roll through the pits, which was a long pit area. You could roll through the pits, get back down.
Yeah, but you could roll through it fast. There was a bit. No one was in the area where you rolled through, and you came into pits, and it was quite slow, and then you speeded through the paddock big. The paddock weren't very big, and you just went straight through, and then you back into pits to go out on track again, and it only took about 10-15 seconds to go through.
By the time that you got back through to the pit start, if you not were too far away, you could tag on. I'm sure you could tag on straight back with them. If you'd lost touch with them, if they're maybe a corner in front of you, if you went through the pits and you got back to the start of the track, which cut out loads of the track, you could latch straight back onto the back of them again. They never creeped away.
No, yeah, they never creeped away, but when you got into the pits, they were still coming round on that lap.
On that same lap.
You had to wait about 10 seconds.
I forgot how long the lap was. How long was the lap?
It was, I think it were it 1 minute, no, 50? No, it weren't even at 1 minute, no, it can't be.
I forgot.
1 minute, I think I did I think it were in 50s.
Yeah, but it wasn't actually that long, was it, really?
No, it weren't.
No. Anyway, amazing track. Spun laps, good training, racking up laps on that bike. Probably most laps you've, apart from being at the training thing, most laps that you've done on there. Obviously, you'd only done 2 wildcard rounds in the B&B the season before. You'd done all the winter series, but that weren't lots of laps.
Yeah, that's only 1 day.
Probably over that week in Spain, or that whatever it was, 10 days, you probably did more bike time on that Old Valley than you'd ever had.
Yeah. We
had been up to our local-ish track, Fat Cats, and spun some laps up there for a couple of days.
Quite a lot of laps there.
Maybe 200 laps. But probably that week there, again, I'd like to look at that data on the Alfano. You probably maybe spun, I don't know, 100 laps a day, easy.
Yeah, easy. When I go to a track day, I spin over 100 laps easy.
100 laps would be 100 laps would be 100 minutes ish. That's not a lot. That's like 2 hours of it. That's 2 hours of track time. No, sorry, it's not. 120. So yeah, you'd easily do 100 a day, easy. Maybe 150. I know what you're like. Petrol guzzler. So yeah, really good. 3 days doing that, 4 days doing that. Weather stayed nice all week again. I'm sure it did.
I think it did. Damp it mornings.
Come off the bike.
Yeah.
First time his mum come up to watch him. Literally 25 seconds of her arriving. Only a low side.
Yeah.
Really slow as well, weren't it?
Very slow, but it smashed up bike, didn't it?
Well.
Not smash it up, but it bent all the front forks.
Twisted all forks.
You fixed it.
Twisted up fairing mounts. Kind of
snap one at fairing mounts.
Kind of tricked us that we didn't think the bike was twisted because we thought it was the fairing mount, but actually, the fairing mount was twisted. But actually, the bike was twisted as well.
Yeah,
because not twisted.
We had to measure from I think it were front fork clamps to rear bobbins, or
we measured from the front bobbins to
the pegs,
the centre of the frame. That's where it were.
Yeah,
exactly right in centre.
Yeah,
so we realised that it was a little bit misaligned, and it went out because the bike didn't, apart from the fairings, twisted a little bit. The bike was fine, but it went out the next session something's not right. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Probably riding it like that.
and it's driving out, like, turning wrong way. Like, my handlebars are like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, we fixed that, sorted that. Massive thanks to Steve, Adrian, and, like, never really had to do that before, as in, like, measuring up to see what that problem were. So, did that. That were on the Tuesday, Wednesday, probably. Yeah. His nan come up to watch him on the Thursday. They just, I think they nipped up in a taxi.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, €5.
No, I think Mum, I think they've nipped up in the taxi, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, really good few days. Really good as well that we're that close to the track that at siesta time, it was like 8 minutes drive back to the hotel. Went back to the hotel, all kids are playing.
Very convenient.
Back, we had his dinner there. Still had an hour messing around, jumping in pool, get dried off, get
your skins on, and go back.
Get your skins back on and go back to the track. So that was like kind of rinse and repeat. And again, I'll emphasise on this, like the amount of people that was at the Bali Hotel was amazing, and it was fantastic at night time as well. That when we all went back there, the parents were like chatting, all kids were walking around pool doing their own little messing about outside their own arcade there, and all kids were hanging about. Parents were sat watching the entertainment. So really good. So many days. Got to the final day. I think we were packing up at 12 o'clock, was it?
I think, yeah.
So that final day, you just had a day, like, morning of messing about. Not a lot of people went on track that day. They did in the morning, and then they started to get the stuff ready. Yeah,
everyone started to get the stuff ready. No one were... I think it were only us in our session, and we were just messing about, like, trying to get his elbow down. I think Thorley came off trying to get his elbow down.
Yeah, well, if you remember, that was like the final.
That was the final.
So you guys were last ones. I think there were a few pit bikes on there, but yeah, when you three were driving around in a train trying to get your elbow down, hanging your leg off the bike and messing, Thorley come off, and from when we was watching, they come off right out of sight on the back of the track, and it ran like a off-cambered corner going downhill. Uphill, yeah. So Hudson, Luca and Thorley went into this corner, and all of them never come out.
But that's because
on the final session,
the order was Thorley, Luca, me. Thorley, we were all spread out a bit because we were messing about, and Thorley came off, and he was sliding underneath the bike. And the handlebar was like stuck in his neck, so his head was like under the bike, and he couldn't get out. So we slammed his brakes on, and I put my bike into the banking. Luca laid his bike down on the floor, like rescue rangers, and we got off his bikes and we lifted the bike up off Thorley.
It was crazy because we all seen him like disappear, and like me, Steve, and I don't know if Lewis was at that session, but me, Steve, and Gideon like sprinted across, thinking, "Oh my, this is going to be a disaster." Like on that bit, we just thought you'd all crash into each other, and we got there, and like Luca and Hudson were like rescue rangers, helping Thorley out.
Yeah, but like the handlebars like in his neck. And the weight was on his neck, and he were like up like that, and he were like trying to get it off, but he couldn't lift it up. So we just ditched his bikes and lifted it off him.
And after that, we called it a day.
Yeah, we called it a day after that.
We called it a day. That was literally, it was like the final session. The final session, probably maybe last lap.
But he crashed, so like weirdly, like I think he just tucked his front end, but the bike didn't go away from him.
Were you crashing uphill?
He was like, do you know how you come in and you turn right, and it's got that big wide curb that Lewis runs across. Yeah. So you drive up there, and then on the like flip to go left round the big long left, I think it was on the flip that he lost his front, and he like kind of just tucked his front, and then he was sliding underneath the bike, and the bike didn't go away from him.
Yeah. So after that, we packed all the bikes away.
Yeah.
Loaded the lorries back up. We got some videos of that. We had a bit of messing about there. All kids jumped in car. It was a trek up that hill, if you can remember, weren't it?
Yeah,
so we like used the car as a bit of transporter. Jumped on boxes rolling downhill and whatever. Not like everybody was doing the same. bit of camaraderie with everybody, helping each other out, loading the bikes up. 2 lorries to load up. That was it.
Yeah.
Then I roped everybody in again. Let's have another go at
go-karts.
So this time
we convinced them.
Obviously, they'd seen Hudson and Luca.
They'd seen us on the track.
They'd seen Hudson and Luca more importantly.
Okay.
Yeah, they'd seen Hudson and Luca more importantly all week.
Yeah.
So they let Hudson and Luca have the same karts as me, Adrian, Lewis, and Gideon were on this time. Thorley's dad, and Thorley even went in one of the faster karts as well, which they were fast.
They were fast.
So then we proceeded to. It was perfect. Well, it weren't perfect conditions, but it were nice.
Yeah,
it were hot, weren't it? Still,
it was still hot. Yeah.
So then it's on like Donkey Kong. Then all of a sudden, we're all racing.
My inner go-karting comes out.
Yeah.
From him, DNA.
So obviously Hudson had been on. So we had a blast on go-karting. We did 3 races. We did a rolling start every time. Let kids go to the front. I think Hudson definitely won one race.
I won the first race, and I think might have came 3rd or 4th.
3rd and 4th, yeah. I think you beat me in. Did you beat me in one or all of them?
I beat you in all of them.
Shocking. So yeah.
I thought you'd win all of them, but you didn't. He's really, if you didn't know, he's like proper into go-karting. Well, you're not into it, but you're good at it. Boy,
Allegedly. We had a good race with Steve and Steve. Steve were decent. Adrian's an ex-flipping road racer. Irish road racer. So he's got it in his blood.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a good blast, a good laugh again. Competitive, weren't it?
Yeah, he was really,
Luca's like
really
running you off at road. We're trying to be tentative as parents, not trying to knock off a kid.
And then Luca comes up on inside, but
Luca were Donkey Kong.
You got pushed onto grass, didn't you?
Yeah, he just like rammed into me. I don't think he knows the etiquette of like karting. I was furious, I'll be honest.
I seen it. He came like up at side, and then he just turned his wheel like boosh. He's on like overflow bit where grass is.
I tell you now, funny. And anybody who knows me, like I will not let a kid.
He's super competitive.
There's no. Oh, you're a kid, and I'm going to let you win.
Yeah, there's no sympathy from him.
That does not work with me. That does not. Anybody, I will not. I don't let alone. I might. There's a certain point where maybe a Lana that I'll be. But at some point, I think it's when you get to 6. That's it.
It's on.
The rules have changed. There's no participation reward in our household. You have to be competitive. Hopefully that's rubbed off on him. I don't know.
Do you know when me and him go running? Yeah, and at the end of the running, we come down onto our road, and he's right. We'll do a race now. So we start at one end of the road, and he goes 3, 2, 1, go, and then he's like sprinting for his life, and we're like sprinting down.
And you brought up this topic here, and let me tell you something, son. I can still win you at running.
Yeah.
At a sprint race.
A sprint race,
that's the only thing I've got now.
I've got more stamina.
At a sprint race, I am faster.
Right.
So let me just hear you say that. You are a faster runner than me, Dad.
You're a faster runner than me, Dad.
Yeah, I thought
only for a short distance.
Yeah, 50 metre sprint. So anyway, wicked week, amazing. Let's say, fantastic. Good blast on go-karts.
Really good.
After that, Hudson didn't know this, that we stayed. We were staying an extra 4 days, so kind of like everybody went home. Unfortunately, like Luke and Steve, they went home. Steve had like work commitments. So they had to go back home, but Hudson didn't know, and we stopped an extra 4 days where we kind of just had a normal holiday, and the weather ramped up. I've got a little bit of footage there that I come back on there, like a little bit of drone footage of the hotel. Like the weather were amazing for 4 days there, and it was a good little recharge after what Hudson had done, worked hard.
And it was just like a 4-day holiday, weren't it, after?
Yeah, so we went into Benidorm, I walked along the beach. I walked from Benidorm all the way back to Finestrat, which, again, I think I mentioned this earlier, it took about an hour.
Yeah.
To walk from Benidorm to the hotel, so it wasn't miles away, but just along the two beaches. So yeah, fantastic time, fantastic experience, an experience that I hope Hudson remembers. Like, I think it were amazing. Like, and it would definitely Hudson definitely benefited from it. So yeah, that were fantastic, and that wraps up España por favor.
Yeah.
So yeah, so anyway, we'll roll on. Next little bit, we're just going to touch on
the MotoGP Fantasy League.
MotoGP Fantasy League, which again is being sponsored by the So Playing Card Company, and as well as that RW Paintworks. They guys are chucking in a bundle of stuff, so we're probably going to give it away to the top, obviously top three competitive in that league. So another shout out before I read the top 5 teams is that if the people that are in this league are watching or listening, or they see the comments or see the posts on YouTube, on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, not put your name.
Put your name
to your team.
Yeah,
because we don't know who you are.
Like,
so there's so many. There's like
so
60
many,
people. 60
names.
People in the league.
Yeah.
So in first position, after is it 3 rounds? Is AK1 from India. In second position is Ear Team from Portugal. In third position is Promisia Racing from Italia. In fourth position is SH Team from Spain. In fifth position is KRRB from Estonia. Just a few noteworthy teams that we can scroll down. Let me just load a few more. Hudson's dropped major off the list. Rambo Racing, which is John Rambo, or that's what I've got in my phone as John Rambo, but it's John from the So Playing Card Company. He's in 19th position. Who else have we got there that we know? El Dinero El Loco, so that's Steve, the man with the money. He's in 26th position, and El Loco is in 27th position. RW Paintworks,
the Battle of the Locos.
RW Paintworks, they're in 29th position. S20 Racing, which is S20 Doors and Floors, which is Hudson's uncle.
Another one of my sponsors.
Another one of Hudson's sponsors. He's in 31st place. He's dropped like a stone as well. I'm in 35th. Hudson's in 37th. And I think that's about it, just scrolling through. But we'd like to call out who you are.
Yeah, like the top 10.
Yeah, well, anybody. It doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah.
Just put a name to the team name, because I'd like to read whoever we know out and anybody who's in the comments. And like, it's been a massive success. It's been really fun. We've got waiting for the next round actually, haven't we? So yeah, so that's been really good.
Talking about comments, if you've got any questions and stuff for us.
Good plug. Good transaction there, mate. I like that. So yeah, anybody who's watching, well, just any comments you want to leave, you can email in at where can I say email in?
You're the social media guy.
Well, I don't know. I ain't got an email address set up for that. There is a place. Oh, I tell you what you can do. This is a new thing. If you look in the description, there's a link that you can press and you can leave a voice message, and we can actually integrate that into the podcast. And it's on a website, so you just put in the description. It'll be in the description on YouTube. It's in the description on the podcast app. You click that button, it loads a website up, and you can press record and you can leave a voice message. It's a question, we can actually put it on the show. It's actually integrated into the podcast app that we've got.
Yeah, and it'll come up.
So you can plug, get your voice heard. So yeah, if you want to do that, that's an easy way. If you want to do that. If you don't want to do that, just leave a comment on any of the podcast posts or send me a message. Send me a DM on Instagram.
We'll some questions, or
Twitter. And send Hudson a question. Anything you want to ask Mr. Moo, we'll answer it on the next show. I think it could be a good section, that. Any questions you want to ask about racing, what you do, I don't know, what type of bike it is.
Any questions.
So, to wrap up,
yeah, that's a wrap up,
This podcast is also a YouTube video.
Yeah.
So, you can watch this video you can watch this audio podcast on YouTube. On YouTube we put up any footage we're talking about, and you can see me and Hudson talking. If you're not watching on YouTube, you can watch it on YouTube by clicking the link in the description in your podcast app if you want to do that. We'll put up a Spain playlist Again, we've had massive success. Well, not massive success, just
like generally
amazing
amazing
numbers.
Progress.
Yeah, on how many people are watching these videos now. So it's been like 100,000 views over.
And if
the
you want to go check out his channel, it's HKC217.
Yeah, HKC217.
Yeah,
so if
everywhere.
you're listening to the podcast, please subscribe. I presume you subscribed anyway. Leave a review. That helps. If you're not subscribed to any of Hudson's social media and you are listening to the podcast, head over to social media. Come and comment on a post and say hello. It'd be amazing to see who you are. Like, the numbers are getting beyond what you thought it'd ever get to. So yeah, come and say hello. And on that note, I think that's pretty much everything. So
we'll see you in episode 10.
Yeah, so is that everything? Have we covered everything?
Yeah, we've covered everything there. Yeah.
At Hudson Kai Cooper on any social media, search for hashtag HKC217 wherever you want.
Should definitely come up.
Press like, follow him on Facebook, follow him on Instagram, follow him on Twitter, follow him on Snapchat, follow him on TikTok, follow him on YouTube.
Any more lists?
No, that's it, I think.
That's it, yeah. Okay.
Episode 10.
Yeah.
We're rolling into the season. A new thing that we're going to be doing, just to touch on this before we leave this episode. So, every single round of the British Mini Bike Championship that Hudson's racing, we're going to do a recap video and a podcast episode. Kind of like this. This is what we've been kind of building up to. So, every single round will have an accompanying podcast episode and YouTube video, which will probably have... we're able to use race footage from the live broadcast in the video.
So if we're talking about something, we'll put that up. Yeah.
So we can actually have the racers replaying in the corner, or just have a little bit in the corner from videos from the weekend. We'll be talking about the race report from the weekend, and that's about it. So that starts on episode 10. Perfect.
Yeah.
Is that perfect?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Round 1, episode 10.
Double digits.
So yeah, we roll out. It's going to be an exciting episode on that next episode, so we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So that's bye from me.
And bye from me.
So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Please
Thank
like
you.
and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the videos after. There should be a video actually after we've gone to press subscribe if you watch it on YouTube. See you later, guys.
Bye.
See you later, guys. See you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.